Hi, welcome to SBR TV. I'm Peter Loshak. We're going to talk once again with Doc, the head linesman at Legends, to recap the weekend in football betting. This week, all we've got is we'll find out how he did with the conference championship games, and then we'll talk to him a bit about Super Bowl betting, which is coming up in 2 weeks. We'll find out a bit what the patterns over the 2 weeks leading up to it usually are, and what he expects from this year. So, Doc, thanks again for doing this call with us.
No problem, Peter. Always a pleasure.
All right. So the word on the street, and it seems pretty obvious, is that the conference championships were an absolute disaster for the books because the favorites both covered and the teasers on the underdogs both covered and even the teasers on the totals covered. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Really?
A do-over. No. Yeah, no, it was a bloody Sunday. The late score by the Bears was bad, and then the Jets getting their late backdoor teaser cover was bad. And like I said, if either one of those would have gone down, it probably would have been okay. But it was just like I said, it was just a nightmare of a day. Is all you can say. We did okay on both second halves, which was real fortunate. A lot of Green Bay money, and they tended to bet the Pittsburgh game over 17.5, so that was a little fortunate. So. It was ugly, but, what are you going to do?
Are those games bet more heavily than the average football game, or is it about the same?
Oh, yeah, we had
really?
It was probably, it's a lot of action, but at least probably double the best Monday night game of the year. That's
Really?
how much action there is. Because there's only those two. People don't pass,
Right.
The guys that don't pass pretty much spit the words Green Bay and Pittsburgh out of their mouths. So.
God, so are you guys okay, like overall?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah?
We won money for the week. Oh, yeah, we had a great week in baskets. It's just annoying when the... I know. Anytime you hear a bookmaker cry, you
Right.
probably broke even.
All right. Okay, good. Well, good. Now I feel a little bit better. Now we can move on to the second part.
No. I just like a bitch and moan, that's all.
Right. All right. So let's talk about the Super Bowl. We've got 2 weeks now of betting. So first of all, has there been any early action that's been notable to you so far that you've taken or that you've heard about?
No, I've taken some pretty sizable bets. It's odd, I've taken big Pittsburgh money line bets, and I kind of thought I would. I'm using 35 only right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just moved. I moved to 2 minus 15 on the game, so that's sit there and see what happens. I'm kind of glad it's heading that way. I'd rather not mess with the threes. I'm glad it's going down instead of up.
Right. So you don't think it's going to...
as far as dancing around numbers and stuff,
Right.
This game can go to pick. I'd be the happiest guy in the world. Cause
Right.
I'm
That's
not
what
gonna
people
worry
are talking about.
landing.
They're saying that the disaster scenario would be like Green Bay gets bet up to 3.5, and then the game lands on 3, and that would be...
Oh, exactly. I'm glad it's heading this way.
Right.
So,
Right. All right.
I think it's probably the right way. I like Green Bay myself. I thought the line would be, between 1 and 2.5. I wasn't quite sure. And, I saw $3 a quarter, $3 20 last night. I was like, wow.
Right.
It just seemed a smidge high. So I'm actually glad it's moving down. Like I said, I hope it closes 1, and I hope I don't need anybody. We'll see what happens.
Right. So are there any general betting patterns that you tend to see year after year when it comes to these 2 weeks in the Super Bowl?
Usually the dog money line's a sexy pick by guys all right out of the box. It just seems something that no matter what it is, I don't care if it's a 7-point spread, 9-point spread. It seems like something they want to make it known right away. It's like a good example was the New England Giants Super Bowl. We had to drop it a lot on game day and get wise guys to bet New England. We about evened out on it, luckily. But, if you didn't move your line and you just kept the standard line for a spread of that game, you would have got destroyed.
Right.
We had a money line of about a 10-point game to get money back. But that's something you got to do because the public's, it's been a coin flip this year in the NFL. Like I said, I got wise guy accounts that are buried, and guys I usually beat every year are ahead or even. So, it's better than it used to be for them. Let's put it that way. It's a much fairer draw, I think. So.
And I heard that overall in football this year was kind of a bad year for the books. Is that something that you've heard?
It started out real good. The first 7 or 8 weeks were cloud 9. To be honest, it was as good as it looked like it might turn out to be the beginning of 2006 all over again. But then it tapered off and looked more like 2005 after that. So it started out real good. And right around Halloween, it just got bad and stayed bad. So, the bowl games weren't their usual. Bowl games are usually a slaughter for us. We usually do so well. That's our best time of year. This year, not so much. It was more of a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, yeah, it got a little shaky late, but like I said, baskets have been amazingly good. Raz is batting 500, which is good for us.
Right.
So we're doing real well taking those guys, and it's working. Everything's working out pretty good so far in the basket. So luckily, hopefully that keeps going.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do a different set of interviews about basketball, because I am interested to hear about how betting changes for the books after the Super Bowl, after football's over. But for these 2 weeks, I mean, what do you expect? Does the money just sort of trickle in, or does it explode after a certain point? Like, how does the betting work?
No, it's there's some guys, like I said, I got some really big, like I said, a couple of real large Pittsburgh money line bets, but other than that, it's just a trickle. I might have 1,000 bets come in the next week, and I won't even pay attention to any of them probably, because they're probably going to range from $50 to $1,000.
Right.
And then next week you start paying more attention, and it probably get 10 times the bets next week. I mean, it slowly starts picking up steam. And game day is just crazy. Even though you think one game that everybody would be in, hell no. Either that or guys are hedging off or middling on their early bets to know what was going on. It's action. It's action up until kickoff, obviously.
Right. What's your limit on a Super Bowl bet right now? Like, do you have a limit right now that you've set?
Well, no. I mean, post up and credit are two different animals.
Right.
Credit guys can bet whatever.
Really?
Post up's purposely kept small. Credit's a different story. Like I say, some guys can bet six figures on the game, whatever, it doesn't matter. But post up and credit are two different animals. But no, there's really whatever the agent or wants us to take, we take.
Right.
So it don't matter to us.
What's the what are you expecting your biggest Super Bowl bet to be this year? What would you expect it to be?
Well, last year I took a $300,000 bet on the Saints, and we still won the game. So that's to let you know how much action we had.
Wow. $300,000.
Yeah.
Do those come from syndicates, or do those just come from whales who want a huge bet on who just want big
that's
action?
pretty much syndicates, and we know going into it.
Right.
We get told, hey, this guy wants to do this or that. Okay, no problem. Go ahead. I mean, it's all you do is move a line and get money. I mean, it's not brain surgery.
Right. So basically, there's no effective limit on a bet. If someone calls in that they want to make $1 million bet, you'll take it and then just deal with it and lay it off somewhere else, right?
As long as we know that they got the money and their agent's okay with it, or
Right.
if it's our guy, we're okay with it, then sure, no problem.
Thanks again for all this great information,
Okay.
Doc.
All right, buddy.